Have you ever heard of a man who didn't just steal money, but created an entire nation out of thin air and sold it to the world? In the early 1800s, one man convinced investors, bankers, and even soldiers that he was the ruler of a rich tropical kingdom in Central America. He printed maps, passports, and royal decrees, all fake. But what happened next was so bizarre that history still calls it the greatest con ever pulled. Welcome to the Untold End, and today we reveal the unbelievable true story of the man who tried to buy a country and almost succeeded. Our story begins in 1786 in the Scottish Highlands, where a young soldier named Gregor MacGregor dreamed of glory. He fought bravely under British command, later joining the Venezuelan War of Independence. But when fame didn't come his way, he decided to create it himself. In 1820, he suddenly returned to London, not as a failed soldier, but as His Highness, Gregor I, Prince of Poyais, ruler of a rich tropical nation in Central America. He wore a royal sash, spoke with authority, and claimed his land was a paradise of gold and opportunity. MacGregor's confidence was magnetic. He told investors that the king of the Mosquito Coast had gifted him an entire territory, the Kingdom of Poyais, 8,000 square miles of fertile land, rich in gold, rivers, and forests. But here's the truth. Poyais did not exist. Still, he didn't stop there. He produced fake maps, books, and even a national anthem. He published a 300-page guidebook called Sketch of the Mosquito Shore, describing cities, banks, and government offices that were pure fiction. In 1822, MacGregor issued Poyais government bonds worth £200,000, today's equivalent of over $30 million US. London's elite lined up to invest. He also opened a recruitment office, promising settlers free land, citizenship, and gold. More than 200 people, including doctors, engineers, and entire families, bought their tickets to paradise. In September 1822, the first ship, Honduras Packet, left for Poyais. The passengers dreamed of lush plantations and grand cities. But when they arrived, they saw nothing. No cities, no farms, no people. Just jungle, mosquitoes, and death. Dozens died of malaria and starvation. The survivors were eventually rescued by nearby settlers, realizing they had been sold a lie. Back in London, investors were furious. The British government launched an investigation, discovering that Poyais never existed. But Gregor MacGregor? He had already escaped, sailing to Paris, to do it again. Yes, even after the scandal, he tried to relaunch Poyais in France. And unbelievably, people still invested. Eventually, the truth caught up. MacGregor was arrested in France, but after a brief trial, he was released due to lack of evidence. He returned to Venezuela, where he lived quietly until his death in 1845, still calling himself the cacique of Poyais. Even in his final years, he never admitted guilt. To him, Poyais was real, maybe not on a map, but in his mind. And that's how one man, armed with charm and lies, almost bought himself a country. Gregor MacGregor turned paper and words into power. His story is not just about deception, it's about belief. Because sometimes what makes something real is how many people choose to believe in it. This is the Untold End, where history hides its strangest secrets. If you found this story unbelievable, wait till you hear what came next.